Welcome back to the YTG Podcast.
Welcome.
You are new here, my name is Niko. I'm an automotive photographer and now amateur racing driver.
I'm Shaun, and I am the owner of this lovely shed in Keysborough, YTG Youngtimers Garage.
Here on the weekly-ish YTG Podcast, we're going
Yes.
to give you the sort of inside scoop inside the automotive industry in Australia, as well as some fantastic stories. Motorsport, anything car-related, and a bit of electric car hate. So join us on another episode, and we hope you enjoy. Welcome back to the YTG Podcast. I'm so sorry we've been away. We've been very busy. The major reason why it took us so long to sit down again is because of the event we're going to be discussing this episode, which is the fact that YTG officially has another sponsored racing driver, which is me, which is pretty...
Yes, Niko's now part of the sponsored race team.
I'm giving it a go.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a go.
Summons Racing and YTG. We're a small part of it, but fantastic. It was awesome to be out there. We went to Winton 2 weeks ago.
So we'll get into all the details, but we had my first race.
He's now a race driver.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I started my amateur racing journey, but it's a bit of a difficult one. You call it amateur because I'm not being paid to do it, but there is nothing amateur about those cars or how bloody quick they go.
Mate, not at all.
Ground effects, open wheelers, and we're lapping faster than V8 supercars. So
you got a couple of V8 drivers. There was one there, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's a couple of them have driven them. So so we'll crack into all of that, I reckon. So we'll just kick off. So I am racing a Hyper Racer X1.
Put a picture up.
I will. I got so much stuff. So if you're Spotify or YouTube, you can flip open your screen and you will be able to see. I'll put some pictures
Your onboard stuff?
I could potentially overlay some onboard stuff as well.
It's crazy. It's insane.
So they are open wheeler race cars with full ground effects aero because they don't have to follow FIA rules on aero. So they have huge tunnels.
Amounts.
Like 70s Lotus ground effects tunnels and massive carbon wings. The best way I've described it to anybody, which was actually to someone we can't talk about yet, in our meeting earlier this week, was that imagine a Formula 3 car and an aerial atom had a baby.
Yeah, that's a pretty good analogy, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so they've got that steel tube frame chassis of the aerial atom, but in a Formula single-seater open-wheeler shape. Yeah, with a whole bunch of carbon aero.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So they are made right here in Melbourne.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
By some Australian motorsport royalty.
Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant engineers.
The Crook family, namely John Crook and Dean Crook. If you haven't heard of them, John Crook is the Australian Formula 2 champion from I think it's 1980s.
Yeah.
And also co-driver with Peter Brock at Bathurst. This guy's
he's done some laps. He's certainly got the runs on the board.
100% got the runs on the board. Yep, he is a bit of a genius. And then his son Dean followed in his footsteps and did the whole Australian supercar.
Because he was on the track with you, wasn't he?
Yep, he was racing along with me. And he started off in the supercars thing and then went more towards the engineer side. So we worked with Kelly Racing, V8 Supercars, and had that perfect step-by-step of working in each industry, the carbon, the suspension, the aero, and learnt it all. And between the two of them, with the experience and the skill set, they've got everything they need to design and build a race
Pretty much
car.
so, yeah.
And do it on a budget, because things like the shape of the rear wing, which is wind tunnels and aero, and making that work. Dean's made V8 supercar wings for how many years? So you can just replicate the shapes that he knows works, right?
The brain power is amazing.
Expertise So these guys are out in Lilydale in Melbourne, and they are fantastic. They're pumping these things out as fast as they can. They've been building them for 2 or 3 years, and there is number 18 is almost built. So there's 17 of them, which is already more than I think S5000s there are that exist total. So for open wheels in Australia, that's pretty
it's
cool.
pretty big. Yeah, it's good, and it's good to see it's growing. And then they've got forward orders, and mate,
they got orders into the 34, 35, 36.
Easy.
So they're flying. They're flying. There's one car's been sent to the UK and is doing Silverstone and Brands Hatch and all that sort of stuff, which is just so cool.
And it just costs so much to go racing today. Like even the boys next door, like we were talking about it today, just the fuck Hyundai Cup. It's fucking 35, 40 grand just for a half decent car.
Correct.
And then let alone having the pass, because it's fucking smash up derby on the track with 30 or 40 blokes and they're running 3 or 4 wide into it's crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas, okay, you don't have the fuel there, but for the value that represents and for the absolute thrill and the buzz, it's just amazing, really.
Yeah, my favourite thing to say about these things is that I couldn't afford to race a Hyundai XL. I can afford to race.
Yeah.
I can afford to race a Hyper Racer because they are so
unbelievable
cheap to run.
It's so forgiving. How from what you could see.
Yeah, in the same way that we were talking a few episodes back about Gordon Murray and about how he's just doing everything right and thinking about the right things like ground clearance and usability and the tyres that you put in the car. These guys are that in the motorsport world. They've taken everything that makes a race car expensive and simplified it or removed it.
Yeah.
So you got a car that's ridiculously fast but costs bugger all to run.
And the big thing was there was blokes there that had just turned up themselves with their trailer, put it on the road and on the track, and off they went. They didn't have a team of people or anything like that. It was 100%. Quite amazing how, for what it is, it's unbelievable value, really.
Yeah.
Fuck me, unbelievable value. Our goal was to get one ourselves, and that's the goal this year. We want to get one ourselves, hopefully, cool. And then,
Steve is hanging out.
Yeah, my brother's hanging. I don't even know if he'll fit in the fucking thing, mate.
You would fit, but...
Well, I was going to say, there's some pretty round blokes there.
Well, Dad fit in it. Dad's 6'3" or whatever, and he drove.
Yeah,
so.
he drove, yeah. So, no, it was fantastic. It was great to see you out there, and you were giving it fucking ringing it hard.
Doing my best.
Yeah.
Doing my best.
It was a great effort overall.
Yeah, we'll get on to results a bit later, but
it was great.
What's in it, how quick is it, is probably what you want to know. So they are a factory bog stock Hayabusa engine out of the Superbike, Suzuki Hayabusa, which is basically 200 horsepower, basically.
What are you revving to? 13?
No. We have ours capped at 11.
11, yeah.
Because they run so hard
ridiculous,
all the time.
Yeah. And that's the thing, the longevity on the engine.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, because they are literally just a road bike engine. There's nothing race engine about them.
Yeah.
They just run.
Yeah.
And you just do normal servicing on them like you would a road bike.
And it's a sequential, wasn't it? Sequential.
Well, they're the motorbike gearbox as well. So
no, you had no clutch.
You've got a sequential shifter because you're effectively doing what the left foot does on a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, to activate the gearbox. The same. You got to go forward, which is down, all the way to first. And then you got to half pull it back to get into neutral like you would in a bike. Yeah. And neutral's between first and second.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. They weigh 380 kilos.
Just the ridiculous thing.
Yeah, so they weigh 380 kilos without a driver.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous when you remember that a Hayabusa motorbike weighs 260 kilos.
Yeah.
So it's 120, 130 kilos heavier than the bike.
Yeah.
And it's a full-fledged race car with massive wings.
Oh,
it looks
crazy.
Awesome.
When you see the pictures when Niko go, wow, okay.
They look
it's
cool.
really epic.
And they sound mega.
Yeah, they
rev to 11, so they sound like not quite like V8 F1, but
no, but they're just
similar...
a scream when all of them are in battle down that. Just it's awesome. Yeah, it was grouse. It was really good.
Cool. Yep. So how quick are they? Think Formula 3-ish. Depends on the track. Because they're a Hayabusa engine, they do struggle a little bit on the bigger tracks because they just don't have the top end speed. Even Radicals, which run the same engine but bored out to 1500 cc, so they still have that extra torque, extra power. At something like Phillip Island, you'll be a few seconds slower than a Formula 3 or a Radical. At Winton, you basically bang on a Formula 3 and faster than a Radical because you don't have all the weight of a Radical. So it depends on the track, but that's your sort of ballpark. Yeah, so they're a pretty awesome machine. How much do they cost? Basically $100,000. Yeah. Which for a brand new race car,
I think it's amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah. A new 86 is like fucking 75, 80 grand for the new series. A brand new race car. I think they were somewhere around there. Shit's going to cost you 35. Yeah. It's been smashed.
What else can you buy for sub $100,000 that can walk the wheels off a V8 supercar?
Newish. I mean, it's a brand new thing.
Yeah. Yeah, a Mercedes AMG GT3 is 800,000.
I was going to say, anything under 100 grand in a race car is something that's just been bashed and pillaged and, you know what I mean, and just put together and so on. So I think it's great value. It's massive value for what it is. Even if you just bought it and just went to Winton track days and test days and just get out there and just have a blast. That's the grouse thing about
be the closest thing you can to a Formula 1 driver sort of thing and just experience it.
Just get out there and have a blast. And the one thing that I loved about it and what I could see when I was out there was just the ease of accessibility and the ease of actually doing it. It's more effort to take a 25, 30-foot boat out in the water than it was for that, especially with those trailers. We were talking about those little bloody trailers.
Little trailers.
If you see the setup, you have to put a photo on that. Like, it's amazing. Like, it's so maneuverable and so easy to run around. It's a little box trailer and the way they've designed it, and the car sits on top of it.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
It's so cool.
And you can work on the car like from underneath the trailer, underneath the way it is. It's very intelligent, total use of space, and just very smart.
The guys are geniuses.
Yeah, it's very
they
smart.
really are.
Very, very
just
intelligent.
engineering brains.
Yeah.
Just incredible. Yeah,
really outside the box stuff. Doesn't have to, they're not complicated. That's the good thing. It doesn't need to be. It was awesome, mate. We were sold. I couldn't believe it. It was awesome. And I'm very proud. Thank you to have the YTG on the back wing.
Yeah, on the rear wing, and on the front nose cone. It looks awesome. It fits the shape of the logo, fits the rear wing.
Really good.
Perfectly.
No, it was good. It was a great day, Winton. Great day. Really good day.
Yeah. I am racing in the Victorian Motor Racing Championship, which is a Victorian state championship. We have, under the Australian Autosport Alliance, I should add, not Motorsport Australia, the AASA. So we have 4 rounds at Winton and 1 at Calder.
That's coming up.
Yeah, so this episode will be out before then, but we're at Calder in 2 and a bit weeks, 2.5 weeks. August 14th and 15th, I think it is, that weekend. So yeah, it's pretty mega. We had a field of 11 at Winton, and with any luck we'll have a field of 13 at Calder, which would be...
It was 11, was there, on the track?
It was 11.
Okay, cool.
11 at Winton, yep.
Okay, cool. We might be in that field ourselves.
Well, that'd be awesome. That'd be so cool.
We'd be banned.
As long as you start at the back. As long as you ram up behind everyone.
I'll just sit back and watch the carnage, because it would be insane.
Yeah, there's actually...
But it was good to see, though. There were so many different people. Okay, you guys at the front were really just fucking on it. But then a couple of other blokes were just... And I'm going, mate, that'll be just having a good crack, and just, mate, that's okay. I don't give a fuck where I finish. Just have a fucking blast, because I'm just getting out of the joint and going there for a day and having an absolute awesome time. And that's, you can see how it's growing. You can see the popularity of it.
Because of the style of product it is, it's probably more encouraging for someone that has a bit of money and just wants a track toy than it is someone who wants to be a career professional racer. So you've got that mix of the field of we've even got like a kid who's come up from karting and is trying to get into Formula 3, and this is the way that he's decided to do it.
Yeah.
All the way through to team managers and stuff who have bought them just for fun.
Yeah.
And they don't mind trundling around 4 seconds off the pace and just having fun.
Honestly, that's... Mate, I'm going to get one, and that's what it would be. Okay, we jump in the series, but gives a fuck. I just want to have a blast. You're out there having a ball, you're enjoying yourself. Okay, if the guys are faster, then you just get out of the way.
Exactly right, yeah. And we've got, at the moment, because there's only 11, 12, 13, 14 of us on track, we got a little bit of a gentleman's agreement as to... We don't need to be dickheads here. We're not racing.
You don't need to.
Yeah. We'll still fight. Let's be respectful. Exactly right. Yeah. And to this day, we've never had a big accident in the 2 years that they've been running the championship. Now they've never had a big accident on track.
That's good.
So it's been awesome for them, and it was so good to be part of it. Awesome to be part of it. I don't own the car. I am driving a car that has been purchased, and I have been graciously allowed to race it. So. Very thankful for that. And that's Rob from Summons Racing, who is the owner of the car. Absolute legend. At some point, we'd like to get him on the podcast. He wants to wait until... Rob also has one of the 4 Nissan Nismo GTR GT3 cars in the country, which we have been building for the last couple of years. There's actually a full video log series on YouTube under Summons Racing. You can go and watch about that. But once both cars, the Nismo is more finished and rewrapped in the right colours and everything, we want to get both cars here at YTG for a Cars and Coffee, do a big photo shoot, and then when both the cars are done, he wants to do a podcast there.
It'd be cool. Yeah, no, mate. That'd be good. That'd be good. Once they're done, then the same livery look mad.
Yeah, 100%. With the both cars matching, it'll look really cool. Yep. So the race weekend. We'll start with you. What was your thoughts and experiences? What did you think of it?
Loved it. Honestly, I loved it. It was great. Just don't get the opportunity. And I was like, fuck this. I want to go and see. Obviously, support you. Get out there, but I wanted to go and see them, because I think even if you weren't racing, to go out and see it, to actually see them in action and seeing the diversity of owners. Yeah. Imagine all small business owners like me. I mean, just go out there. Mate, the reality is racing is expensive. That's the reality. And even fucking old HQ, mate, they fucking cost money, man. Yep. And the bigger the field, the more the carnage. And you can't help. We're human nature and we're rev heads. You put the fucking helmet on and everyone thinks they're fucking Lewis or Max or fucking Brock or fucking Johnson or something. You can't help it, mate. You get like that on the fucking sims. Yep. But I saw it was really good. like the trucks were crazy. The trucks were all smacked. No, they were just going mad. The trucks were. If you haven't seen truck racing, they're fucking piss.
Yeah, that's Australian super trucks.
Yeah,
those
was
guys
crazy.
Are hilarious.
Nut jobs.
Yeah.
Like 3 stories high, leaning over, things smoking up sideways. But it was good. And I think it was, I really enjoyed the day. It was, had trouble getting in because the fucking gates were locked, and I'm trying to call you, watching you guys.
I'm on the track. He's trying to call my phone.
I'm hoping someone will pick it up, going, I can't get in the fucking joint. Anyways, I loved it. And it was a perfect day for it. It was great.
I'm so glad we got good weather.
Yeah, it was really good.
First race
really
meeting
good.
in the rain would have been...
And look, I think it was good because in between the races, you had those other blokes out in the MX-5, and then there was fucking the 86, and they're just some punters out there just having a crack on their own. For me, it was good. It was good. The sad thing is, fuck, it's so far, Winton. But to me, Winton reminds me of New Zealand racing. It's really easier access. You can go there on a test day and get out there.
Yep.
There's no major restrictions. Don't need licenses, things like that. I can put a helmet on, of course. That's general safety. But it's not that easy here at Sandown, or certainly not at fucking Phillip Island or anywhere else. No. So in that sense, it's good. And it was actually good to get out there. No, I loved it. Stephen, that was spewing. They were away. And then I know Shaun was spewing, he wanted to come out. But like I said, last minute, it was actually good to jump in the car, quietness for 3 hours. It was just awesome. It was just, don't do that anymore. No, awesome day. I'm grateful to come out. It was awesome to see everyone. I was spewing, it would have been good to see your old man and you out on the track. That would have been epic.
That was awesome.
Yeah, the next day they had a great time.
Yeah,
it was good.
We had the car on track for 4 days effectively.
Yeah.
Friday was practice for the race meet, and we had Saturday, Sunday, which was a race meet, and then we had Monday, which is the regular Winton track day, which is another one of my clients. So I do social media work and photo work with them. So I had to be there anyway. So we just ran the car for the 4th day. And one of the other hyper guys, really ripper guy named Bastian, and I'm not sure if you spoke to Bastian. No. He let me jump in his car so Dad could jump in our car.
Yeah, that's
cool.
Go
around the track, which was awesome.
Yeah, come on, man. That's cool shit. Yeah, stuff you're going to remember.
Yeah,
good on you. That's good.
Yeah, Dad had this hilarious moment because he did 2 sessions, and his first session, a few laps into it, we said that I would lead, but once I was leading, I had no idea what pace he needed.
Sure.
So I'm just trying to feel it out and go fast and go slow and just work out, is he still behind me? Trying to work that out. We're coming through the tight corners at the top of the track, and he just puts slightly too much power and just half spins it. So he goes 90 degrees to the left, right?
Caught it?
No, I didn't catch it. So just put the brakes on nice and slow because they're tight corners, all right? So he spun at 90 degrees. So you can imagine he's now facing the edge of the track effectively, right? And they have no steering lock and no reverse.
Oh, no reverse.
No reverse on them. Motorbikes don't have reverse.
Oh, right? True. Put some sort of a reverse gear or something.
They have actually engineered a reverse gear because the car in the UK requires it for the race rigs.
Sure.
So you can technically option a reverse on them, but none of our cars have them because we just don't need them.
Yep.
So he's stuck looking right at the edge of the track, and he's got barely any steering lock, and he can't go reverse. Crap, what am I going to do here? I can go off the track and turn around. That's all I've got to do.
Beached,
so he pushes it on first, rolls really slowly towards the edge of the track, and it just goes clunk, and the wheels fall off the edge, and he's beached.
That's what I thought it would have beached,
yeah. So I'm trying to look around in Bastian's car going, I can't see Dad in the mirrors anymore.
You see
and
when
I
you're
come
over
around
there.
the outside of the track, and I see the flashing lights. I'm like, oh no, here we go. Come round, and he's just sitting there.
Waiting, the truck to pull it out or something
They literally just got out of the truck and just pushed him back onto the track again, and then off he went.
That's gold.
Too funny. Yeah, and then we cruised around, we did some laps together.
Yeah, nice. That's cool.
It was awesome. It was such a cool experience.
Yeah, man. That's cool stuff.
He gave me my passion for cars, and he taught me basically all of the driving dynamics that all my racing skills per se is based on. So
that's cool.
It was really awesome to share that with him. Yeah,
that is a special moment. That's good.
So actually, I didn't look at what time we started this. So Tristan, are you keeping track of time somewhat? Oh, awesome.
Oh, golden.
How did we do for the weekend?
Yeah, overall.
Pretty well.
Pretty good, man.
Better than I was expecting.
Considering you're racing with a couple of V8 boys in there.
Yeah, so...
Who are now enduro drivers too, so it's pretty
We were blessed enough to have one of the guys who owns, I think it's car number 5, which is a green one. He couldn't make it, so he was nice enough to lend his car to Zach Best, who is the current Super 2 champion.
He's partnered with our brother JC.
And funnily enough, is co-driving with James Courtney at Bathurst 1000 this year.
And they were there on the Tuesday for testing.
The day after I left, James was there. I sent him a text.
Yeah, I was spewing. I go, fuck, man. You didn't guess, nah, man. I just flew in and flew out. And I was like, fuck.
Hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah. So that was cool because we had proper V8 supercar skill
man, it was
in the
awesome.
field, which was great for me because my first race meeting ever, I want to know
where you stand.
Exactly
and you
right.
did a fucking awesome job, mate.
So we can go off the paper because I don't want to sound like I'm tooting my own horn here. So qualifying was P5 out of 11 for myself.
First time on the track.
In a race meeting.
In a race meeting, sorry, I meant to say, yeah.
Before that, I'd done a few track days in the car, but,
but not
haven't
in
been driving the thing for years.
A competition race, so to speak.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And qualifying was interesting. Unfortunately, in Singapore, the Hankook tyre factory burnt down earlier this year.
Huh?
Burnt to the ground. So our main tyre supplier, their factory burnt to the ground in February or March or something.
Really?
Yep. So
well, they only got one fucking factory, Hankook, such a big company.
Apparently, maybe just for the motorsport tyres. Because motorsport's a small industry worldwide,
possibly.
right?
So no tyres.
So no soft compound tyres.
Oh, okay.
So we're all running on hards, which in 380 kilo cars means you can't get the weight and the heat into them.
Yeah, it'd take you fucking forever.
Yeah. So the hard tyres were a tricky thing to adjust. It was my first time ever on the hard tyres. I bought a set.
How many laps were they? 7? No.
The races were 7 or 10 lap races. And the hards take 10 plus laps
to get
to temperature. So in all 4 races across the weekend, everyone's fastest lap was the last lap because each lap you're getting faster and faster, just as the tyres get more heat into them. So qualifying was interesting because it's only a 15-minute session. So again, you've got that whole your last lap's going to be the fastest.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, one car went off early. So we had 2 laps of trying to get heat into it. Safety car. Come back into the pits, stop. So we lost all the heat in the tyres sitting in the pits. So now we've got 12 minutes to get heat in the tyres. So we head back out. And then 2 laps into that, I accidentally hit the downshift 3 times instead of twice coming into a corner.
Was she locked up?
Compression locked the rear. What I was worried about was that I'd ping the revs.
Oh.
Because that's the thing you got to watch for. So I went, damn it, I have to do the right thing here, pull into the pits and check the data.
Yeah.
I then pull into the pits, kill another lap and a half of time, turn the car off, open the wheel up, get the data, check the revs were fine. They were still like 800 below red line, so we're fine. Back out we go. Now, everyone else has got 4 or 5 lap warmed tyres and mine are stone cold.
Yeah.
And there's 6, 7 laps in the session to go. I'm never going to get the heat to play catch up. P5, considering I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah. Pretty happy with that result.
11.
Zach Best beat me. He was 4th in qualifying. So to come right behind him on the cold tyres, happy with that.
Yeah, considering he had a couple off and ons.
So correct, yeah. Zach really struggled on the cold tyres.
Really?
He was spinning. That first day he was in the car, he was spinning a lot, which is interesting because you think once you've done it once or twice and you learn the limit.
Yeah.
But I think it's got a bit of that race car driver mentality of I'm on the limit and I'm never below that. Like I am constantly just pushing the limit. So his version of doing that, which obviously works in a tin top where you're driving a forgiving car, a sedan, just doesn't work in the open wheeler because it's so knife edge snappy. Yeah. You just can't save the sort of stuff when you're trying to find the limit. And I find the limit by really slowly warming up to it because I just don't have the race car experience. I haven't done karting, not a lifetime racer. Yeah. My experience is sim racing.
Yeah.
Whereas his experience is very obviously find the limit by lap 1 going over it. And then just continuously going over it by a small amount to minute it down that way. So rather than coming up to it, he's going straight over it and coming down to it.
Yeah.
And that just meant he kept spinning.
Yeah.
Which was interesting to see, comparing to a professional race car driver and seeing how he approaches it. It's very interesting. So we went into race 1, started in obviously in 5th, qualifying 5th, and then had 2 spins in front of me, and all of a sudden I was in 3rd for race 1, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was on the Friday.
That was on the Friday. So it was the last session on the Friday was race 1. And I was like, oh, here we go. First race ever. I'm going to come 3rd on the podium. Here we go.
Epic.
And then to my absolute amazement, getting put in my place real quick, Damon Sterling, who was our young karting legend who's come up and is hoping to try and make something through this.
Yep.
He came from last on the grid. He was the one who crashed out in qualifying. He came from last on the grid to overtaking me and overtaking 2nd place.
Wow.
So that just goes to show that's the difference to the absolute limit of the car. Because I'm trundling along in 3rd, unable to catch 2nd. He's come from last, overtaking me and then 2nd.
Yeah, but he's a young kid with no threshold of danger and tolerance.
There is a lot of that.
And It's just fucking gung-ho, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
So it's a different psychology.
Totally,
It is. And I say, a lot of the guys, they do slow down when they have a lot more personal responsibilities in life.
100%, yeah.
And that is from the most seniorest of race car drivers.
Yeah.
To that would be expected, I think.
Young
car to just fucking carving everyone up. Because we're all be like, fucking hell, mate, what the fuck? He's braking. You haven't got your mindset for that. He's braking later and then whatever the case, and he's just... You would expect that. If he didn't, the thing that I think is impressive is, like I said, you're you got a current V8 supercar endurance driver.
Yeah.
And you fuck all off him. Mate.
Yeah. So he was one of the 2 cars that he spun in race 1.
Yeah.
So I managed to get past him and hold in front of him, and we came in 4th in that race. So now Saturday is done, and we go to Sunday, and we have 3 races, which is when So in the first race on Sunday, which was, I think, my favourite race, I managed to stay with the top 3 within 2 corners. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4 the whole race.
Yeah, nice.
None of those guys got away from me. And more importantly, and I went back and checked Natsoft, the actual lap times to double check this, I was a second a lap quicker than Zach behind me the whole race.
Wow.
So that was me being like, I'm quicker than a V8 supercar driver.
Yeah, that's big.
Which was short-lived because in the next race, he started directly behind me and just dive-bomb into turn 1 and off he went. See you later.
But you would expect that too.
Yeah, 100%. But look, I was happy with the results.
I didn't expect that for you.
Yeah,
expect the opposite.
Exactly
so I think
right.
that's still fucking kudos.
So 2 fourths, and then Zach and Dean Crook, the creator of the cars, both flew past me in that turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. And so that put me in 6th, and then I finished 6th and 6th again. But because of those 2 fourths, I finished the weekend 4th overall,
which is big.
Huge.
Yeah, man. It's one off the fucking podium. Come on, man.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Very happy with that. Yeah. The goal was 5th, so to come 4th, I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, fucking well done. It's good.
Yeah, encouraging. And we'll see what happens at Calder.
And a good camaraderie with everyone. That's what I found. Again, this ain't hardcore fucking knife edge racing with all these sponsors and responsibilities. It's actually still hardcore, but because you're going hard and the battle and the fact that you're in that car, it's different to a tin top, totally different. I can only see from what I can see and what I could experience from what you're telling and what you could actually physically see. But yeah, man, you'd still get out fucking sweating your balls because you'd be like, fuck, you're on it, man. You're working, you'd be fucking still tired.
Well, 7-lap races don't sound like much, but I tell you what, 7 laps felt like plenty.
Yeah, you're fucked when you got out.
Oh, mate. Yeah, and then the 10-lap race, Jesus Christ. Those last 3 laps, I was like, man, when's this going to be over? I'm trying to push the limit for that many laps.
Yeah.
Jesus, it is.
And being on it, because it is twitchy.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Like you said, it's not as forgiving as a tin top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's, from what you could see, it's amazing to see how different lines of people, when they were fucking going, especially when we were standing in the pit and you see them coming around the back and then just before you go around the front, it's like, fucking hell, fucking different lines. And then one's really wide. And then, it was quite good. It was good. And again, everyone's just trying to find their rhythm and get their rhythm and then off they go.
100%.
And it's quite amazing after you see 2 or 3 laps and they're still in the... You see they're staying on that line. It's just quite amazing. They're all different lines. You know what I mean? It's quite... It was good. No, I loved it. It was great. I think it was fantastic. Looking forward to Calder.
Oh, I can't wait for Calder. Yeah.
Totally different track again.
Totally different track. Calder is...
Have you run at Calder?
So I'd done 1 test day at Calder. Yeah. Dean and Damon, the 2 quickest guys, they were doing 59s. I managed a 101, which was my first time at the track.
I was going to say hello.
And at that point, I'd had 1 track day experience in that
car. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Be 2 seconds off the pace.
Hello.
Given that, I'm happy with that. Race day is going to be interesting. Calder Park Raceway, for those who don't know, hasn't been used for circuit racing in 15 years.
Fuck.
They've done the drifts there and the drags there, but that's it. So it was a V8 supercar track. It was a Formula 1 track. So there's the big NASCAR Thunderdome, and then there's
that's all. You can't.
Yeah, you can race like lemons and stuff on it, but you can't properly race on it.
Yeah.
And then you've got the actual Calder Park track, which is what we run on the circuit. Yeah. And I went and had a look because I wanted to see how close it would be. The track records for both of them, one is Niki Lauda, because it was a Formula 1 track, and the other one is a Group C Le Mans car from the era when the Group C Le Mans came to Australia. Yeah, correct, Not a 962, but
that era.
Yeah. So I was okay, we're not going that quick.
No.
So Yeah, it's a massively historic track, and they've just reopened it to racing again.
Yeah, they're on it. Rodney or Kim, they're actually, they're really wanting to get it going and get a few different things going, because I know that they were speaking to a mate of mine.
Yeah.
A good friend of theirs that looking at maybe heading it up to try and get things going. He was telling me about it. He goes, they really want to get things going and drag strips, drift track, all that sort of stuff, which would be great. It's a bit of a bum. Okay, granted for us on this side, but for everyone on that side, cool. But yeah, if they get it going, I think it could take off. It's definitely a need. You need something that's more accessible and easy, and there's not a lot of red tape. And like I said, Winton sadly is the only one that's like that. You know what I mean? Like you just rock up. So was it Mondays at the test day, or Monday or Wednesday?
They're normally Fridays at Winton.
Oh, Friday.
Test and tune days are. Yeah.
So like, I just jump my fucking 63, put a helmet on, and fucking go and get out there.
Exactly right. Yeah,
that's the grouse thing about it.
Yeah.
And what's it cost me? A couple $100.
Yeah. Yep. And it's a good conversation topic. The difference you're talking about there, about the ease of going to Winton versus Sandown, Phillip Island.
That's the key. That's what I loved about New Zealand.
The difference is AASA versus Motorsport Australia.
Yeah.
That's what you're seeing.
Yeah, you got backbenches and then you got
there's
front
a
benches.
big conversation to have there. Motorsport Australia is the giant in the industry. So much red tape, so much paperwork. AASA is the little country boys who are just saying, let's do it. Let's get it done.
And hopefully, and they're doing it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's great.
Yeah.
No, awesome.
Yeah.
No, awesome.
So, brilliant. The actual track itself, Calder, probably none of our listeners will have ever driven the circuit, I'd imagine. It's a terrifying track. It is an absolutely terrifying track. There is I call it a lump, a hill. And as you crest this hill, coming out of a corner, cresting a hill, even with full aero, the cars lift across the top, and the revs go to red line.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. As you come across the top of the hill. It's scary. And that's in a car with that much downforce. Imagine
and only 300 odd kilos.
A V8 supercar would be launching off this hill. And then you've got...
fixed that.
it's a...
I suppose a
part of the track.
Yeah,
exactly. You've got... I'm hoping they fix this, but there is a big braking zone on the back straight with no... brake markers, no 50-metre board, 100-metre board.
Oh, really? So
it's just grass on both sides. There is no guide.
Oh,
so that was the one corner of the track where the fast guys would make up a lot of the time.
Sure.
There, because that confidence in being able to pick your braking marker when there is no bush or anything to pick from, they were just so confident. They're standing on the top of the hill watching. They could see Dean, for example, come up behind me, see me hit the brakes. He'd brake with me, and then just jump off the brakes and go straight around me.
Because you're hitting him
all
too
through
early.
The braking zone, right? And it's just, wow, okay, I've obviously braked way too early. But it's just so hard to judge.
Are they going to put something in now?
I hope so. I really hope so. Because the times
I was going to say, there'd be some people that fucking go some offs.
Yeah, well, even there was a couple of laps where I'm trying to push it, and it's so vague where the marker is. There's laps where I'm hitting the brakes going, shit. Am I going to make this? I'm not going to forget downshifts. I'm just focusing solely on my left foot, making this thing pull up because they have no ABS. So you lock those brakes, you're done.
Yeah. How is it? Is it really touchy? If you too much pressure to lock, or
it's very linear.
Yeah, it's not like an off or on.
No, it's quite linear. It's very good. The pedal feels great, and in the dry, if you lock a wheel, it's pretty easy to get it to unlock again.
And so
you have to brake
real hard,
bloody late to be in a situation where you're locked and have to hold it.
Really?
Yeah. So you've got to be really on it before that's happening. So yeah, they're good, and brake bias obviously because they're a race car, which is incredibly
adjustable inside, isn't it?
Yeah, adjustable inside. Incredibly complex. There is a lot to learn there.
Really?
That is definitely one of the areas where I underestimated how much
a simple dial.
Yeah, it's so much more than that. The entire entry to the corner is completely defined by where your brake bias is.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. And wrong too much either way, catastrophe will occur.
You can't
right?
feather brake too much and she'll just fucking...
Yeah, too much rear and you're in trouble. Yeah, that's an area where I definitely have a gap to the fast guys, is learning how to finesse the brake bias the best and get it set up right.
Track time.
Yeah, and then the final big, and this is the most terrifying part of Calder, is the final corner comes out onto the start of the Calder drag strip. And the whole main straight is the Calder drag strip. I think it is the longest main straight in Australia because it's a quarter mile drag strip. It's a long front straight. Yeah. Because it's not just the drag strip, it's also the runoff after the drag strip for the cars to slow down.
Correct,
again. So it's a very long straight.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. We're maxing sixth gear by the end of it.
I was going to say, we'd be just peaking.
Yeah, we're just peaking.
You run out because you've got no more speed.
Yeah, we get to about 220. And the aero at that point is so draggy, it pretty much cancels out 200 horsepower of the engine, and you just sit at 220.
Yeah. But you can adjust the gearing, though.
You could change the gear set inside the gearbox.
For long straights, high
But
end.
you'd have to rebuild the gearbox to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this final corner, literally...
No, he doesn't have COVID.
No, I've just got a nasty cough. So this final corner literally runs out onto the start of the drag strip. It looks like it's that sticky prepped area. Like it's right at the start of it. They tell us that it's not the section. That is the prepped super sticky section. But it's definitely early on, and there's a massive big surface change as you come on. And you're still loaded. You've still got wheel turn as you're changing surface. So
on
you've
the
got
gas
loaded,
or just sort of...
on the gas, loaded into a corner across a changing surface, which is a recipe for... a lot of people are, yeah. It's a recipe for disaster in its own. And then you factor in the fact that it's a drag strip, and cars have only ever run on 2 tyre width sections. The rest of the tarmac has never been used. So you've got a varying grip level in inch increments across the track, no grip, no... And if you've ever driven down Canterbury Road and the surface is bubbled like this and it dips down where the tyres go, it's bad. So you're loaded up, coming out of a corner...
You'd bottom out.
On the gas, not quite. It's not quite that bad. But you're on the gas, sliding sideways across varying grip levels, and the car's rocking.
Undulating like this,
as you're going across the dips in the...
It's something like that.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
It is terrifying. It took me all day the last practice
Just get
day
the balls up to go in
to
there,
get
a bit
the
of
confidence
speed.
to take it with any sort of throttle. The really quick guys had worked out how to do it 100% throttle.
Oh, really?
But there was many videos of guys in cars, in hyper races, fully stepping out across that stuff. Yeah. And it's concrete either side. It is, most of that track is concrete either side, so it's not a place where you want to be making a mistake. So side-by-side racing over that is going to be terrifying.
I think you'll see that. I think a few people will be a bit intimidated by, hang on, now we're running around concrete walls, which really not a Winton apart from that side coming on. You'd hope so.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be backing off and letting the car beside me past. I'm not even going to bother because it is not worth being.
Don't want to get tangled and fucking
100%.
Yeah,
but yeah, it'll be an interesting weekend.
You get tangled with those, it's like a Formula fucking 4. You'll just get a flip. You just.
I would be very surprised if you flipped one. You'd have to dig into dirt to flip.
Oh, sorry, if you're got but when if you got wheels tangled, you're fucking into racing and.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean.
The front wheel hits the back wheel and it launches you up into the air. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Sure. But again, you could see that everyone was being pretty respectful and
100%.
Yeah, it was quite good. No one, I could see no one locking up. No one locked up from around there. We could see them coming in on that straight.
That is part of the lovely and terrible thing about the hard tires is that the first 3 laps they are stone cold because you literally come out of the pits, you come round to do your formation lap. And once you hit the main straight, that's it, race on. Stone cold hard tyres.
And you did running starts. There you go.
Rolling starts.
So rolling
starts, rolling starts,
Rolling starts,
yeah. The reason for that is some of the early cars had hand clutches. And then they went to what they call a recluse clutch, which is like an automatic clutch for just stopping. After
which is
that,
what you guys have got there now.
That's what we've got. There was a bit of unfair between the hand clutch guys could rip out and do a burnout and take off, whereas all the recluse clutch guys just hit the throttle and it does what it does. Yeah. So we just decided rolling starts. Yeah. Sweet. Easy. No worries. So that's how we run it.
Yeah, no good.
And then turn 1 and really the first couple laps are super duper cautious. Because you just have no idea how little grip these cars have. On the hard, there's no idea what the car's going to do. So everyone's playing it super cautiously. When they did round 1, the streaming guys were there and they live streamed the event. So you actually watch like a proper TV stream of them racing. Yeah. And the first couple of laps look really slow and boring and terrible. What are these guys doing? And it's because the cars, when the tyres are cold, have so little grip. In the Friday practice, I've got this hilarious...
But getting the power down, she's just spinning?
It's understeer coming in. So one of the interesting things about open wheelers that I had never experienced, driven on track in road cars, and have I driven a tin top race car? I don't think so, no. But the unique thing about open wheel is just the insane understeer.
Yeah.
Until you get some heat or some speed for the front wing aero, there is nothing. You turn the wheel and it just does not turn. Until it does, at which point the relets go. Whoop. And I've got this hilarious clip from the Friday practice where I'd gone out and unbeknownst to me, the brake bias was just a few clicks too far back. And I've wound out of the pits, not done a burnout or anything because I'm just being sensible. Yeah. Up to second, up to third, I'm cruising, coming into the corner, touch the brakes into turn 1, doing 60 k's an hour, and it literally just spun, rotated 180 degrees.
There's too much bias at the back, obviously.
Too much bias at the back. So I touched the brakes and the rear's locked, and it just spun me.
Wow!
But I was amazed that it was what felt like walking pace. It was what felt like 10% brake pressure.
Really?
And it literally just looped. And that's the situation we are all in coming into turn 1 side by side. Cautious is key, right? Yeah. Once you get some heat into them, they are fine. And when you run these cars on soft, I'm probably giving them a bit disservice. When you run these cars on soft tires in warm weather, like the very first day I drove one back in 2021.
Just nice and sticky. And
it was nice and sticky from the moment you get out there, and literally felt like the most endless grip
just
ever.
Kept sticking.
Just ever.
Yeah.
And the quote that I came back to Dean and John after I'd driven it was unspinnable. Because it didn't. It just had so much grip.
Wow.
It
just kept
felt like there
pushing
was
and pushing
nothing
and pushing.
I could do to spin it. Yeah, just kept pushing.
There was a confidence.
And pushing. Yeah. So it was actually an interesting experience driving them with so little grip in the middle of winter on hard, because it was such a stark difference that first drive on softs in summer, which was just mega, absolutely mega. And once you get the heat into the hards, you get that car back, and it's good again. You got to do 7 to 10 laps.
So your races aren't long enough.
No.
Wouldn't you reckon the tyre scenario would be right though?
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, hopefully soon. Yeah, they were hoping we might get softs for Calder.
Got wets, of course.
We've got wets. Yeah, we do have wets. But yeah, they are such a drivable car because again, they're not set up for Formula One drivers. They weren't designed for Formula One drivers. They were designed for track day guys and people like you,
mate,
to just buy one and come and have fun.
Yeah, that's what we do, mate.
So drivable. You can just get in and go.
I'll buy a cup car, half decent cup cars, 100, 120 grand. You can buy a Shadow for 60 or 70 or 80. We're going to throw 30 or 40 at it straight away.
Engine rebuild immediately.
Yeah, or minimum gearbox, and there's fucking 25 grand just for that, and then get it done.
Yeah, and then pay $1,000 a tyre.
And the cost to run the fucking thing, and we're hacks, so we're going to be rough on it. So we're going to hurt it. We're looking at, fuck it. Then we're going to do that with that WRX, the thing we've got. I mean, no, that's why I said, no, just the most amazing. It just ticks every fucking box.
It just ticks every box.
Honestly, it just fucking does.
Yeah, you can run it by yourself.
And I reckon the thing will have a fucking great resale too.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, legit.
I think it'll be fucking amazing.
Yeah, because it's such a small team, they can only crank them out so fast. As I said, orders to number 34 plus of these things, right?
That big joint in the States.
So, exactly right. I know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we got orders from the States for these things. So, if you wanted to sell secondhand your car,
that's what I mean.
You could ask brand new price.
At the end of the day, I'm a businessman, and you look at it and you go, fuck.
Yeah.
You can get an allowance if you advertise on it, so to speak, which is great, and a lot of guys do that. But at the end of the day, it still costs money.
Yeah.
And it's not so much the buying of the car, it's actually the running. It's like fucking the boat, decent-sized boat. Fuck, it's an effort to put the bastard in the water and then to do it. Because you don't want to pay the money of the dry dock. So this thing here, same thing. You can take it back, the easiness of what it is, the cost, the maintenance. It's fuck all to run on a weekend. It needs fuck all fuel.
Yep.
Tyres, it's so good on.
Yeah.
And it just was, again, I was blown away at seeing, there's more effort with fucking Hyundais and 86s than there are with that. Yeah. There was, and there is.
Yeah. So Dean, who was running with us this weekend, he did, and he is fast. He is pointy end.
They're the founders.
He's on the pace. He's on the limit. He did that race meeting, which was the third race meeting on the one set of hard tyres. So the value from that, how much racing you get out. And the thing that I love, and the thing that's more pertinent for guys like you buying them, is there is an owner by the name of Stu Richards. Absolute legend. He's designed his X1 with blue and gold Lotus colours.
Yeah.
And he's the only car who asked for the lips of the barrels of the wheels done in chrome. So it's full Lotus 25 spec.
Man.
It's awesome.
I did mine up at a Mini Patronus.
Yeah,
that's exactly, mate. Your colours are very similar with the way your colours are.
Yeah,
what
we're trying to do. Yeah. So Stewie has been running his car for a year and a half. And in terms of pace, he'll do 26, 25, 24. So 1 minute 26 to 1 minute 24 at Winton.
Yeah.
For reference, I'm doing 121s, and that's a second or two off the pace. So he's another 4 or 5 seconds behind that.
Where I'll be.
125s at Winton, that is still world time attack pace.
That's still
right?
good, man.
That is still flying.
What's a V8?
Cam Waters' test day in his Gen 3 supercar, he's doing, when I watched the video on his dash, was 24s. That's supercar territory, right? And he has had one set of softs on the car for a year and a half. And that's still going. It's just mega.
Seriously.
Because they weigh nothing.
It's unreal.
So they just don't, they don't use brakes, they don't use tyres. It's just mega.
And they fuck all the run fuel-wise.
Yeah, we just got 2 20-litre jerry cans.
All weekend.
Yeah, a normal track day will... So the car has a 20-litre tank in it, and then we bring the 2 20-litre jerry cans. And a normal track day, we'll be lucky if we finish the first jerry can. So less than 40 litres of fuel total for a full day of racing.
You're running 98.
Doing supercar lap times.
What are you running? 98? No.
98. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just bonkers.
Come on, mate. It's just
the value. It's just...
It's no-brainer. It really is. It really, really is. And that's nice. You can just see it. You have to go and check it out. It's just amazing.
Yeah. So they
do.
do have a website, hyperracer.com, I think it is. If you just Google Hyper Racer X1, it'll come up. You can have a look. I might try and link it in the notes of the podcast.
We'll get them on the podcast because we've been saying we'll get them on.
Yeah, would love to get them on.
That'd be great. Amazing stories. Is amazing. He's an absolute genius,
Yeah,
an absolute gentleman. Absolute gentleman.
Yeah.
Beautiful man. Very nice guy.
Yeah, John loves to tell people the story about when he was in his Formula 2 days. He had his lunchbox, and glued underneath the lid of his lunchbox was a mirror with world's greatest driver.
Nice.
And it's a mirror so that he could see what the world's greatest driver looked like.
Yeah,
his lunchbox. Just the best. He's just the greatest guy ever.
But
good.
But that just doesn't show you the psychology when it comes to that.
Exactly
That's what
right.
it is.
Yeah.
How much mind goes to an F1 and all that different stuff. Even the psychology psyching them all out.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. And it's true. If you don't believe it, you're not going to happen.
Yeah.
No,
so
it's
cool.
Good. No, he's an absolute gentleman. I can't wait to get him on.
Yeah, me
good.
too.
Really
I can't wait. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so these awesome machines. And I can't wait for you guys to get one. Oh my God.
Man. I spent a bit of money, bought a car company.
Yeah.
I had a Hyper Racer, I had a fucking buggy, Paddy's buggy, I had all these things teed up, and we ended up buying a fucking car company. Yeah, we'll get one. Might turn one of the Elfins into a track car.
Take the Elfin to the track.
We're going to turn one of the Elfins in the track car.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because like I said, we're going to build 5 of them. We've got the parts and all that stuff. We'll build 5. One of them is a non-VIN number car, so we're going to turn that into just turn into a track car. I don't give a fuck. We'll chuck a supercharger or something just fucking epic.
That'd be so.
Just some Frankenstein.
That would be so cool.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Put some big wings on it. Who knows? I don't know. Fucking, I don't know. Just fucking turn it into
just
a fucking...
Go nuts. Never going to be registered.
Why not?
So.
Never going to be registered. Just build it for a track car. So, no. Love it. I can't wait to get one. We are definitely getting them. It'll be good. We'll have 2 tandem cars. Look like a race team.
Oh, mate.
I'll put fucking Summers Racing on it. I don't give a fuck.
Oh.
It'll be grouse, mate. Just 2 tar team.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
No, good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll get them on.
Yeah. So after Calder, which is 16th-ish of August, I'm going to bring it here. And it's going to sit in here for a bit. So we've got some events, some private events and stuff just after that it'll be here for.
We've got a big Porsche cars event, that's something. Yeah, we can talk.
But if any of you would like to see one.
You need to see it. And if you're thinking about racing or having some fun and you've been toying with it and you're looking at all the different categories and all that sort of stuff and you feel a bit intimidated, oh, I know he's going to go race hardcore. No, that's all bullshit. This is amazing. The value, the fun. It's the fun factor is you could just see everyone just beaming. It was like, fuck, we got to get one of these.
Yeah.
It's just
if you come to a day with 7, 8, 9 hyper racers there, and you see the community, the guys talking to each other.
Yeah, man, it's grouse.
Just how much fun they are having.
Yeah,
you have to get in on that.
That's what I really, and I'm glad I came. I said, and that's why I think if you have an opportunity to go out and see them. You should go out and see them. If you go to Calder, come to Calder in a couple of weeks' time. Come to see them and see it because it's epic. And again, anyone knows, unfortunately, it just costs a fucking fortune to go racing, even shit heap racing, mate. For what these represent, like 100,000 might sound a lot. It's really not if you've done your homework and what you can get. You can't get shit for $100,000 that will give you that thrill, that buzz, those lap times, Yeah, and you just constantly got a fucking smile on your face. That's grouse. And it's hard to break the fucking thing too.
Yeah, proper.
Mate, again, how many cars, race cars, fucking bang. That's why the good thing is they're forgiving, because if you're not a true racer, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to be hard. You're going to do damage. You're going to, in a fragile car, you'll do damage.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. Something like Rob's other car, Rob's Nismo GT3. The list of requirements just for how it changes gears is... And it's a paddle shift. You think it's just up, down. No, it's not. There is 1,000 different ways to do that wrong.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I don't want to drive the thing because I'll do the wrong thing and I'll break it.
That's what they were shitting themselves, the gearboxes. And the guys were using them on the Targas and things like that, the GTRs. And they were shitting themselves. The boxes were shitting themselves. They're just too much power.
The road-going GTRs, they had a problem with the gearboxes. Yeah. The GT3 car is totally different.
Oh, yeah.
But fuck, it's just the level of complicatedness. It's been great to see the contrast between everything that we know about the GT3 car versus the Hyper Racer, and how much harder one is than the other, and how much more expensive one is than the other. And on a good track, on a good day, we're doing the same lap time.
So, mate, fucking one's fucking Nicky Lauda, the other one's fucking Forrest Gump. In terms of the simplicity, but you can see the value, the fun factor is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. You really need to check it out, especially if you're half thinking about doing something. You may be toying with a cup car, an ex-cup car, or a fucking old race car. No, the immersion and the experience on this is just, unbelievable. Yeah. And if they had more people, they could build more, but they can't. It's about a year and a half, I think. You get one?
The wait is realistically over a year now.
Yeah.
It
doesn't matter how much, just rock down and just can't do it, which is awesome to see.
I think they really do want to try and get some people on and stuff. And we're going to try and see if we can help out and maybe give them some more factory space or something. Just try and help them get that manufacturing process going along so they can make cars faster. Because the exciting thing is, if there is 40 cars in Victoria by the end of next year, 18 months,
you have a series.
Imagine what that would be for the Australian motorsport industry, having an open wheeler class that sounds like the era of F1 we love, with 40 cars on the grid.
Doesn't cost anywhere near the fortune of fucking F5000s and shit like that.
No.
Nothing. No, the cost is unbelievable.
Just crazy.
That's the crazy thing. And that's why I just see it only going north.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can see it going big places. Yeah.
Guys like me, that's what was there. That typical small business, want to enjoy life. Mate, get in a stage, go, you know what, fuck it. I've had my toys, but I want something that I can really enjoy, that I can just go out there. It's just all about me.
Yeah.
Just my time, have fun, have a ball.
Yeah.
Half decent boat's going to cost you fucking 400,000, 500,000 today, and you fucking can't wait to fucking sell it after you buy it.
Yeah, and the maintenance on a boat just to have it sit
brother,
is crazy.
It's crazy, mate. It's crazy. Yeah. Again, like I said, just the cost of... I know how much money we used to spend when we used to go fucking racing at Phillip Island and at Historics, mate, with those cars. Granted, we had 962s and all that fucking crazy shit.
Top shelf.
We're fucking talking 80, 90 grand on a weekend in tyres.
Yeah, nuts.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, Bathurst 12-hour with a GT3.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to buy brand new tyres for those events because it's signed with Pirelli, the deal. You have to buy brand new tyres. And it's 6 figures you drop in on tyres for one weekend.
Oh. And it's just crazy. So, no, well done. Well done to bring that to market. It's huge.
Yeah. Huge. Congratulations to the boys. Australian manufacturing.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. I think we need to support it. I think we need to do as much as we can. Yeah. I just love getting.
He was very excited about us buying Elfin too. He was very excited.
Yeah, because his Formula 2 car, one of his Formula 2 cars, was an Elfin chassis. Yeah. So I mean, he's all over it.
Yeah, it was great. It was very exciting.
Yeah. So we've seen that the Bathurst International, not the 1000, the International, is doing a parade for 10 open wheelers around Bathurst. Apparently, there's going to be some Formula 1 cars and all sorts of stuff. And there's a link to register.
It'll be those Formula 1 cars.
I've
which
applied.
Always go to fucking Adelaide Motorsport.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, because they got some nut stuff over there. Yeah. So I've applied, and in my email, I was just like, this is Australian motorsport history. This is manufacturing in Australia. I know the S5000s are made in Australia, but they're still Dalaras from America. This is literally designed and built, blood, sweat, and tears, here in Melbourne. We got to support it. We got to get it on track. We got to.
What was the last one before that?
I don't know.
Elfin, probably.
Nah, surely not.
Van Diemen? No.
Maybe Formula Fords.
But are they everything internal?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know enough about the motorsport industry to know. Yeah.
There was always some tyres somewhere. with most of them. But
Yeah.
look, it's huge. Like I said, to see that,
It's mega,
mainly
yeah.
to do it on that budget. That's the key,
Yeah,
mate.
exactly.
That's the
How
unheard of.
affordable it is.
Oh, mate,
Mega.
go buy an ex-fucking Formula One car.
Yeah.
That's going to cost you mega. Oh, yeah, but it's an ex-Formula One car. Or you're going to have the balls to fucking drive it around the track? No, you don't.
Yeah.
You'll pay someone to drive it.
Yeah.
As they do.
Yeah.
As most of my clients have done. Pay a professional driver to race them.
Yeah.
Parade them.
Exactly right.
How sad.
I know. I could never do that.
How sad.
I could never do that. I don't understand that.
No, thank you. Thank you for opening that world to us. I love it. It's awesome.
It's
Said
so
my
cool,
goal is to get one.
I think more
and
people
be on the
need to
track
know
next
about
year.
them.
Yeah, mate. You have to. It's awesome. It's amazing.
So if anyone from Bathurst or Bathurst International is listening,
Please.
accept my application.
I will talk to some people. We know a few people.
Yeah, we'll
Hopefully
see how
get
we
some
go.
things going.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Get the car out there for everyone to see.
And then, hopefully in a couple of weeks when we have it here, if you're in Melbourne or if you're in town, come past and have a look at it to actually see it, touch it, and feel it.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing. It's very, it's just awe-inspiring because you look at it and you don't see anything like that. It's very different to a Formula Ford or that.
It is. It's very different because it doesn't follow.
It's like a little
it's
Formula
a
One.
brand new product. It doesn't follow any of the rules.
It's like a whole
of
new
the
category in a
preset.
sense
Exactly
of what
right.
it is.
Exactly right.
Like you said, the perfect analogy was the fucking, if you had a Ariel Ladleman and
and a Formula 3 car.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they get.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So cool.
All
All right.
right.
We'll let you know how Calder goes. Hopefully, I don't crash it.
No, you won't. You'll be fucking right, mate. Get
Hopefully I
on the fucking
win.
Podium. Get on the fucking podium.
That'd be nice. Podium be good.
Fucking
Fourth
podium
to
be
third.
grouse.
I don't know. There's some quick guys ahead of me. It's literally lifetime Carter. I actually don't know what Luke's history is, but he's bloody quick.
Yeah.
And then Dean, the creator of the bloody thing, is ahead of me.
Okay, so then, you can appreciate those guys being in front of you.
Exactly right.
So
yeah.
for you in your first race and first season, so to speak, in competition and battle, you're then the next chain of people. That's fucking big, mate.
Yeah. So I got some ground to make up, but we'll see how we go.
Be good. Yeah, looking forward to going to Calder. So hopefully, if you get a chance, come out to Calder.
Yeah.
Have a look at the racing.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll after whenever we do podcasts after the event, we'll let you know how I do. Fingers crossed. Thank you very much for listening, guys.
Thank you.
Hope you've enjoyed learning something new.
Yeah.
Go and check them out.
Great
Go to their
racing
website.
category.
Google Hyper Racer X1. Do some. Their website's awesome. They get so much information on there. And we'll see you in 15 minutes / a
Next
week's
week's time.